So let's talk about Newark for a second. Our largest city, a little over 275,000 citizens, a school district of about 70 schools, where we spend on average $24,500 per pupil per year. And for a young man or woman who is entering the 9th grade in Newark this year, they have a 29% graduation rate. 29% graduation rate. Now, if that doesn't alarm you enough, let me tell you about those 29% who do graduate. Of those 29%, 90+%, if they go on to higher education, the ones that do, 90+% of them need at least 1 year of remedial coursework in order to qualify to sit in a college classroom. What it tells you, of course, is that the high school diploma that's given in Newark through the authority of the state of New Jersey is meaningless. It is a meaningless document. But let's go to a town that all of you may in New Jersey know, but for only one reason. Because Bruce Springsteen's first album was called Greetings from Asbury Park. That's why I first knew about Asbury Park. Asbury Park, New Jersey, not as high profile a place as Newark, not nearly as large. In Asbury Park, we spend $33,000 per pupil per year. And less than 50% of the high school students in Asbury Park can do math at an 8th grade proficiency. For $33,000 per pupil per year. And yet we have a debate raging in my state right now, in a state that last full school year, spent $25 billion on K-12 education. $10 billion from state aid, $15 billion from property taxes. We spend, on average, $17,200 per pupil per year in New Jersey, the highest per capita spending on K-12 education than any state in America. The raging debate in New Jersey right now, as we speak, is whether or not the Supreme Court will order the legislature and the governor to spend an additional $1.6 billion. Because if we do, that will finally produce results. Now, we all know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. New Jersey has perfected this model in our K-12 education system. Let me give you specifics on those failing districts. Of those 31 districts, in 1988, 22 years ago, they got 36% of all the state aid in New Jersey, which at that time amounted to about $800 million in direct state aid. 22 years later, they now get 59% of all the state aid in New Jersey, which amounts to, last year, $4.5 billion to 31 districts. What's the comparison between those 31 districts in terms of state aid and the other 550 districts in New Jersey? The average per pupil in those 31 districts in state aid is $16,200 per pupil. The average in the other 550 districts is $2,900 per pupil per year. $16,200 to $2,900. Yet, what the Supreme Court in New Jersey will tell you is, if we just bumped up that $16,200 a little bit more and took it from the $2,900, we'd reach what they like to call parity. It's parity unless you're in a classroom there. It's parity unless you're trying to learn. It's parity if you have no hopes and dreams for the future. Then it's parity. Money is not the answer to this problem. New Jersey is the laboratory which proves the failure of that experiment. No one spends more, and in our urban districts, I suspect very few achieve less than what we're achieving in New Jersey. And so, if you've come to the conclusion that having 104,000 students in 200 chronically failing schools trapped there is not where you want to be in terms of our educational future. And if you've already spent $25 billion and you have a group of activist lawyers in black robes telling you 1.6 billion more, and then we're really going to break the camel's back, that's the one that's going to send us over. If you know that's failed, then where do you turn to? I think what we've decided in New Jersey, or at least what I've decided, that we're going to stake our reputation on is changing fundamentally the way education is provided to students.